Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Blue Sea Energy. I'm Marissa, and today I'd like to talk about an offshore wind farm in New York that's just been approved by the Department of the Interior. Per Clean Technica, the Sunrise Wind Project will be about 30 miles east of Montauk on Long Island and is scheduled to come online in 2026, in just 2 years. Spearheaded by the Danish energy firm with wind power expertise, Ørsted, and the American Northeast Transmission and Distribution Company, Eversource, the project will generate 924 megawatts of carbon-free energy, enough to power 600,000 homes in New York. Back in 2019, New York State passed the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act, mandating, among other things, that 70% of the state's energy generation be carbon-free by 2030. This massive project will undoubtedly help the state reach its goal, as New York City alone uses an average of 5,500 megawatts of energy, according to the mayor's office and the New York ISO in 2022. This is almost 6 times what the project will generate. And at the end of 2021, 85% of the power that ran New York City came from fossil fuels, so there's definitely room for improvement. The partnership between Ørsted and Eversource that's making the wind farm possible was also responsible for the South Fork Wind Project, offshore of New York as well. It consists of 12 massive turbines to generate 132 megawatts of power, about 7 times less than the new Sunrise Wind site. Nevertheless, its official website, run by the partnership between the two firms, Ørsted and Eversource, says that more than 1,000 jobs were created through its planning, construction, connection, and more. And according to Jennifer McDermott from the Associated Press, it was connected to the grid last March. So this definitely bodes well for Sunrise Wind. In fact, it's said to create 800 direct local jobs and thousands more of indirect ones. As part of this, Ørsted and Eversource have awarded $200 million to a local contractor based in Long Island, Hogland Energy Group LLC, to build the underground system protecting the onshore transmission lines in New York. This task will create 400 union jobs alone. The firms have also entered an $80 million supply contract with Riggs Distler and Company, Inc., to provide construction and steelmaking work to Western New York and Capital Region companies. This would help to build the foundations for the turbines, and it'll create another 230 jobs. Among its other economic benefits is its $10 million contribution to the National Offshore Wind Training Center on Long Island, its $5 million investment in a research partnership with Stony Brook University, and its planned launch of a new operations and maintenance center in East Setauket and a support facility in Jefferson Harbor. With all these economic benefits, it's no surprise that the project has been heavily praised by many leaders in New York and elsewhere. Some of these figures include New York Governor Kathy Hochul and U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, along with congressmen, mayors, Ørsted and Eversource executives, NGO and nonprofit leaders, AFL-CIO union leaders, and many, many more. Governor Hochul said, "With the final approval of Sunrise Wind and the recent completion of South Fork Wind, it's clear that New York is leading the nation in building the offshore wind industry. We're grateful for the Biden administration's commitment to advancing clean energy projects, and New York will continue to build a green economy, create good-paying jobs, and combat the climate crisis," as reported by Clean Technica on June 24th. Not only is the Sunrise project set to bring jobs and other economic benefits to New York, but it's also groundbreaking for a different reason. It'll be the first offshore wind farm in America to use high-voltage direct current, or HVDC, transmission lines. This is important because, unlike alternating current transmission lines, this technology has fewer cables, is more energy efficient, and needs less equipment between offshore and onshore converter terminals, per Sunrise Wind's official website. Hopefully, this pioneering technology will set a precedent for offshore wind projects, which can decrease their costs. That's another piece of good news for offshore wind in general. As more and bigger projects are built, the industry can take advantage of economies of scale. That is, and as bigger and more efficient projects with more prior lessons learned are built, the cost per unit of electricity generated will go down. So the lessons learned from this project can be applied to others in the future to lower costs, and hopefully even larger projects can be built in the future. Speaking of energy costs, I made a video about the levelized cost of energy, what it is, and why it matters a few months ago, and you can click on it here. And to wrap up, I want to mention that the Sunrise and South Fork projects aren't the only offshore wind projects developed by this partnership. Ørsted and Eversource are also working together to develop Revolution Wind, a 704 megawatt wind farm to power both Rhode Island and Connecticut. It's scheduled to come online next year in 2025. So I'll keep a lookout for these exciting pieces of news when the Sunrise and Revolution projects start to generate power. Thanks everyone for watching this video, and a special thank you to my subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe, please feel free to click the subscribe button below the video or the Blue Sea Energy logo on the bottom right. And don't forget to click the bell for notifications too. Also, if you missed it, I made a video about the largest solar project in the world in China. It's on the bottom left. Of course, I hope you all have a great day and stay positive.